So you're thinking about moving to Sun City, Arizona, but aren't sure exactly what it has to offer or some of the negatives of living in Sun City. Today, I'm going to go over some pros and cons so you know exactly what you're getting into when it comes to living in Sun City, Arizona. Now, if you're new to this channel, my name is Faul, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Phoenix area, and I do a good amount of business in the Sun City community. So if you want to stay up to date on community tours, pros and cons of different communities, property tours, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the new videos. Now, the pros and cons that I'm going to go over are based on what I've heard from residents in Sun City, as well as some of my clients that live in Sun City, and then just my overall opinion based on what I would think if I lived within Sun City. Let's go ahead and start with the first con of living in Sun City, and for me, that is going to be the age of the community. Now, we're talking about the Sun City, the original. The homes are built in there anywhere from the 60s all the way into the 80s. And it is the oldest of all of the Sun Cities here in the greater Phoenix area. So if age of the home is a concern for you, then potentially Sun City might not be the best fit for you. I will say that a lot of the homes we're starting to see renovations going through. So there is a good amount of homes you still, if we went and looked today, we would go in and it is original from the 60s or 70s. So that we still do see some of the older homes, but we're finally starting to see people come through and renovate the home. So if the age of the home is a concern for you, then maybe Sun City, the original, isn't the best fit for you. And that's why I put that one as one of my biggest negatives for the community, just because the materials they might have used back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of that stuff that they used back then, we're not even using anymore. So some would say it's not up to code anymore, but at the time it was up to code. So it's still a safe place to live, of course, but the overall age of the home, it could be much older than other communities. And the number one pro for Sun City is going to be such a wide range of home styles to choose from. And what I mean by that is you can go for something as small as an 800 square foot, one bedroom, one bath, apartment style home, or a Gemini, or a 3,000 square foot single family home on a half an acre. So there is a wide range depending on what you're looking for. If you want a smaller home with an HOA that maintains the exterior of your unit, we have that in Sun City. If you want a larger home with a little bit of elbow room with no HOA, they have that as well. So this is unique to Sun City. Not all of the Sun Cities have that. Not all retirement communities in Phoenix have that either. So if you're looking for something maybe a little bit smaller, just somewhere to lay your head at night and not have to worry about having a whole single family home, there's some options for that. But you're also able to get a larger single family home as well. And so I think that's going to be the number one pro of living in Sun City. And the second con I have for Sun City is going to be the location. And again, this is just the negatives from what I've heard of people that live there. Luke Air Force Base, which is one of the jet training centers for the F-16 and F-35, their flight path is right over a big part of Sun City. So if jet noise, specifically low flying jets, is going to be an issue for you, maybe you sleep more during the day, that's something to take into consideration. Now, the Air Force, I always joke because I was in the Marines that they don't work nights and weekends, but they do some night flying. I'm actually not far from the flight path where I live, and I don't think that I've ever really heard them much past midnight. Really 10:30 is probably the latest. They've done some training, and that's not very often. So the bulk of the flying, they're usually going to be done by the evening, by sunset, but it's something to keep in mind if you're looking to buy a home in Sun City. The number two pro for living in Sun City is going to be the amount of amenities they have in Sun City. Now, Sun City is the largest retirement community we have in the West Valley, so makes sense as to why they might have the most amenities. So with that, they have 8 golf courses, which if you are a resident in Sun City, you get a discounted rate to play there. And then there's also 8 rec centers throughout Sun City. So no matter where you're located in Sun City, you're going to be pretty close to utilize one of those rec centers. And the third con I have for Sun City is that a lot of the properties are not fenced in. Now, this may not be a big deal to you, but it is something that I see a lot when I'm out meeting new people and they're looking and coming to Sun City for the first time. They weren't expecting this, so there's a good chance that the actual property is not fenced in, either by a block wall or a fence. But there is properties that do have full block walls, chain link fence, even wood fencing. But most of the homes within Sun City are not fenced in for whatever reason. I guess it's to be a little bit more open to seeing the neighbors, I guess. So if you want a little bit more privacy, I've seen people even kind of create like a natural wall with different shrubs or trees trees and bushes. So just something to keep in mind. If you want that privacy and there's not a home, that might be something you would have to install at the property. So the third pro to living in Sun City is going to be the annual rec center fee cost. So for Sun City, it currently is $525 a year, and that covers 2 deeded owners. And that is actually the cheapest annual fee throughout the entire country. Even more importantly, it is the cheapest, of course, for the greater Phoenix area, for the other Sun cities within Phoenix. Now that fee you do have to pay regardless of using the rec centers. I know some folks say, well, I don't want to use it, or I'm not going to, can I not pay it? Unfortunately you can't. If you're going to live in Sun City, you have to pay that. But good thing is it is the cheapest throughout all of the Sun cities. Now I would imagine that is because there is a lot of households in Sun City, so everybody dividing that up and helping pay their part. But again, there is a lot of amenities, and that is what that $525 is going towards. Well, there you have it, 3 pros and 3 cons of living in Sun City, Arizona. And as I mentioned, these pros and cons were based on feedback I received from folks I've helped move into and move out of Sun City, and then some were my opinions of things I've dealt with working in the Sun City area. So if you have any further questions about Sun City or any of the retirement communities around the greater Phoenix area, feel free to give me a call or a text or an email. I would love to assist you and help you narrow down which community might be a better fit for you. I'm here to help however possible. Thanks so much for watching this video.